There's a compound in fresh parsley that almost no other food contains. Most people walk past it in the supermarket, use it as a garnish, and throw out the rest. That's a mistake, and the reason comes down to how this particular compound works inside your body. The compound is called apiin. It's found in meaningful amounts almost exclusively in parsley, which is what makes parsley biochemically unusual compared to every other herb in your kitchen. Apiin belongs to a class of molecules called glycosides. That sounds technical, but the concept is simple. A glycoside is just an active compound with a sugar molecule attached to it. The sugar acts as protective packaging, keeping the active compound stable as it moves through your digestive system. In the case of apiin, the active compound inside the packaging is a flavonoid called apigenin. When you eat fresh parsley, your gut bacteria and digestive enzymes remove the sugar at exactly the right point in your digestive tract and release apigenin where it can be absorbed efficiently. Parsley has essentially evolved its own delivery system for one of the more interesting compounds in nutritional science right now. So what does apigenin actually do once it's in your body? The most established effect is anti-inflammatory. Apigenin inhibits several inflammatory signaling pathways, which matters for anyone who is physically active, under stress, or simply aging. Inflammation that runs chronically in the background is linked to nearly every major disease of aging. Apigenin doesn't eliminate that, but it contributes to keeping it in check. The second area is the nervous system. Apigenin interacts with GABA receptors in the brain, the same receptors that regulate calm and sleep. Human clinical trials using apigenin as the active ingredient have shown modest but real reductions in anxiety symptoms and improvements in sleep quality. These aren't dramatic effects, but they're consistent across studies. The third reason is NAD+, a coenzyme every cell in your body uses for energy production and DNA repair. NAD+ declines with age, and one of the main reasons is an enzyme called CD38 that breaks it down. Apigenin inhibits CD38, which means it helps preserve NAD+ levels. The human evidence here is still emerging, but the mechanism is well established, and it's one of the reasons apigenin is generating serious interest in longevity research. Nobody eats a handful of flat leaf and notices a difference that afternoon. These effects are cumulative. They build over weeks and months of consistent intake, not hours. That's true of most things that actually matter for long-term health. The absence of a noticeable effect isn't evidence that nothing is happening. To get a meaningful amount of apiin, you need roughly 30 grams, a generous handful of fresh flat leaf parsley, not a sprig, a handful, through a salad, stirred through eggs at the end of cooking, blended into a sauce. Flat leaf over curly, higher apiin concentration, and the stronger flavor means you naturally use more of it. One herb, one compound, almost unique to it. If you found this useful, you know what to do.